It has been a crazy week. I don't know how I'm framed, but I don't care. Our hot water heater, that actually is relevant to what we're talking about, so I'm keeping it in. That went out on us. Our car wouldn't start earlier, so we had to get jumped. I'm hoping there's nothing wrong there. Work has been a lot this week, but I'm not here to talk about any of that. I want to talk about voices, accents. So here we go. I was born and raised in Wisconsin, more specifically north of Milwaukee. And now I live in Minnesota. Minnesota, the place where the accent comes from, that everyone thinks we all talk like this, okay? So here's kind of my question. And what I'm noticing, even as I'm doing this intro, is that I'm really self-conscious about my voice because I don't know. It's really hard to determine like my natural speaking voice, which I would assume is somewhere about here, is kind of my natural, if I'm not trying to put on a voice for the camera where I'm over enunciating things, if I'm just kind of bringing it back to the way that I speak, if I'm talking with somebody. I think the first thing I notice from a self-conscious point of view is that the words that I speak tend to come farther back in my mouth. So, back here talking like this, just a little bit more than up here talking like this. Voices are so interesting to me because it's something that when I work with kids, I over-enunciate. I'm kind of talking up here because I really want to make sure that you're understanding what I'm saying, and that when I'm making a video, I'm enunciating to the camera. But if I'm just chatting with someone, I'm kind of back here. That's not even to talk about words. So some things that I know that I say in certain ways. The one that is funny to me is if you go to the grocery store and you purchase a bunch of food and you put it in the cart, and then when you go to checkout, you put all the food in a bag, and it's a bag. That's one that I know. I don't know which version, like if I say that more Wisconsinly or more Minnesota-ly, but a bag. Bag, I have my bag, I gotta put stuff in there. The one that some people say it's I can't even say it like this, a bag. That to me is such an overpronounced. This is a bag of chips. Like I can't even. It's a bag of chips. What do you want from me? It's a bag. It's a bag of chips. It's a bag of Doritos. It's a bag of candy. So there's one. A bubbler. I don't say bubbler anymore. Because no one around me says it, but I think I kind of did when I was a kid. That's another big like Wisconsin stereotype accent. My question to you is, number one, based on where you are watching me from and across, several videos on my channel, if you've been around, do you think I have an accent? And if so, is it more Wisconsin? Is it more Minnesota? Some of the Midwestern stereotypes or things that come with the accent, I definitely do. So even in the A in accent, I tend to bring that into accent. Like it comes, instead of it becomes like accent, it's a bag, accent. So I know there's one that, and then the O's, I'm talking on the phone. I have a phone, and I think I say it somewhere between phone. I can't, some of these are funny to me because I feel like me overpronouncing them the other way is just how some people say them. So a phone, versus a phone. Okay. Phone versus phone. And to me, a phone, I have a phone. I'm talking on the phone. Give me a minute. I got to make a phone call, right? I tend to say it again in that higher part of the mouth, the back of phone. It's a phone. It's a bag. It's a phone. It's a bag. A bag of phones. All right. It's a phone bag. So there's two, the A and the O. The one that I want to know, okay, I live in a house. I'm in a house. I feel like I say that almost the other way. I say it up at the front, house. It's a house. I'm in a house. When you get up here in Minnesota, and especially up into Canada, house becomes house. Go to the house. I'm going to go drop something off the house. But that one, I think I have the other pronunciation. I have house. Not, I can't even say it. I'm in my house. So it's like how and then house. So there's one. There's just, I'm just rambling. This is not scripted. I'm just kind of thinking, the thing in a can that drinks, that bubbles, that people like, most of the time, I will say soda. However, I have noticed I would say 20% of the time it's a pop. And that is definitely something I've taken on since moving here. But I don't say it as often. I would even say less than 20%, maybe 10% of the time. It's like, oh, shoot, I got to pick up some pop for the kids. But yeah, I grew up soda. Some people, especially when you get in the South, it can be soda pop or it can be Coke. Everything's a Coke. You could have what kind of Coke you want? Pepsi is an acceptable answer in the South because everything's a Coke. Regional things. So here's a fun one. There's a game that is played, and this is, I guess, less accent and more regional dialect, I suppose. That's okay. So the game that's played, you're sitting in a circle, and usually this is with younger children, and one kid is it. They go around the edge of the circle, and they say duck, 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 and each time they say duck, they're tapping someone on the head. So duck, duck, duck. And when they hit the person that they want to chase them, they tap them on the head. And where I was growing up, it was goose. And when you are the goose, you now chase that person who is it around the circle, try to tap them, and then they sit down. And if the person who is chasing tags you, the person who was tagged now goes to the middle, and then the person who was chasing now becomes it for the next game. Now, like I said, when I grew up, that was duck, duck, goose. In Minnesota specifically, it is duck, duck, gray duck, which to me is so silly because that's also a duck. You have no differentiation between the duck and the goose. It is not duck, duck, loon, which would be a fun Minnesota variant. But yeah, so duck, duck, gray duck versus duck, duck, goose. I am definitely a proponent of duck, duck, goose. Another fun one that I did not play growing up, but some of my siblings did. I have complicated family stuff, but I have some siblings that grew up here in Minnesota, whereas I grew up in Wisconsin. So my siblings would play a game wherein, in a road trip situation, if you're in a car, and this is very specific, but if there is a car which has one headlight out, the action that is then taken is you reach up and you hit the roof of your car really hard and you yell a word. And that word is padiddle. That is one of my favorite Minnesota words because I just think it's ridiculous. So you bang the roof of your car and yell padiddle if there's a car with a headlight out. I've never done it because I can't see well enough to partake anyway. But the first time that my sister banged the roof of the car and yelled the word padiddle, I thought we were about to get into a car accident. So there's that. Try to think of any other ones that are big, like regional things, and I can't think of very many. The one that I say purposely to annoy people, this is going to ruffle some feathers. So there is a thing in the Midwest wherein you create a meal out of usually some cream of blah, 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 cream of mushroom, cream of chicken, sometimes just hamburger, but usually there's a base of like a cream of who's a what's it to put it all together. And then you put into this dish various things. Green bean is a popular one. I had a corn one that was pretty good, but the best one I ever had was my aunt made, and I'm not usually a big ham guy, but it was ham and mac and cheese. And you put all this stuff into a big square pan. I'm avoiding saying the word on purpose in a minute, but you put all of this into a ventricle. You put said ventricle in the oven and you cook it. And it's usually a way to eat your leftovers is kind of the idea. And this thing, when I was growing up initially, was called a casserole. So a green bean casserole or a corn casserole. Now, here in Minnesota, if you say casserole, you're bound to get smacked upside the head and or, kicked out of church. Because that is not a casserole, that is a hot dish. Now, though I grew up saying casserole, I enjoy saying hot dish because it ticks off the casserole squares. And I sometimes enjoy saying casserole because it ticks off hot dish squares. However, if I'm thinking about this logically, I'm calling it a hot dish because that's a hot dish. You put it in the oven, you put stuff in there, you cooked it, it's hot, it's a dish, it's a hot dish. And the name of the meal kind of, to me, more implies the nature of the thing. It's a hot dish. It's a hot dish of stuff. You don't know what it is. And a casserole, I guess, can be the same thing. But whatever, I go hot dish, fight me. Anything else? Not off the top of my head. Now, throughout this video, I know I've kind of wandered with my own accent, my own, voice, the way it is. And it's weird to me because I think I'm paying attention to it because I'm thinking about it. But as you've watched other videos on this channel, I'm just curious as to your own perspective. Also, do you have an accent? Or do you feel like you have an accent based on where you're from? I can tell you that as I've traveled the United States, I have had people spot guess me instantly. Y'all from Wisconsin? Yeah, how did you know? What gave it away? I don't understand why that was so easy to do. Also, side note, the fact that some people in the South pronounce my birth state with an E, Wisconsin, is baffling to me because that state is spelled Wisconsin. So, I don't know where you're getting the E, but whatever. I guess not above my pay grade. So, accents, do you have one? Do you think I have one? Let's talk about it in the comments. Just a fun random video. I am feeling very overwhelmed right now with so many things. Like I said, our water heater went out. We solved that. Our car was being funky today before work. I am not working very many hours right now, and so I'm just trying to stay sane, and part of that is probably going to be around making a little bit more frequent content. I will never take hot water for granted again because I got to take a hot shower when I got home from work tonight, and man, that just, it helped so much, helped me feel like I'm not dying. So there's that. I hope you are well, and I hope you enjoyed this diversion from some of my regular content. I did order a bunch of stuff. For those of you who have stuck around to the end, I ordered a bunch of stuff for this room. Some sound panels, some elements for the background that I want to get up and going. None of that is going to happen probably for a little while because the big change that I want to make for the floors in here, I'm going to have to hold off on a little bit longer because we have some other things, some bigger fish to fry. Our wedding celebration that's coming up next month because it's May now. It's May now. That's insane that it's May. Some rambling to end off the video. Hope you are well. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, comments, queries, theories, or anything else, please don't hesitate to leave them in the comment section down below. Appreciate you, and we'll see you soon. Peace.